After the American Civil War, the 15th Amendment was created. It states the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. This amendment helped extend the citizenships of African Americans, but soon it was no longer much of a help. Later, Southern states enact poll taxes and literacy tests to exclude the poor and uneducated from voting. These voting requirements did not just disenfranchise the blacks, but also the whites. Therefore, Grandfather Clause was created. What is the Grandfather Clause? The Grandfather Clause was a law enacted in 1898 by Southern states that allowed potential white voters to bypass poll taxes and literacy tests and other schemes created to prevent blacks from voting. How did it work? It proclaims that if your grandfather voted before 1867, you can vote as well without paying the poll tax and taking the literacy test. Unfortunately, most blacks could not vote before 1867 because they were slaves. Therefore, their children could not vote. Even if they were free from slavery before 1867, they still had to overcome the impossible poll taxes and unfair literacy tests. Why is it important to know? The Grandfather Clause is a crucial subject to know because it shows how the American Civil War did not completely abolish discrimination, unfairness, and racism. Another reason why Grandfather Clause is important because it's a contribution to the civil rights movement. Black voting was suppressed in southern states until civil rights campaigns came along and protests for voting rights. As a result, Grandfather Clause is a key impact on civil rights because it shaped America's history to what it is today.
Healthcare needs you now. Join the essential healthcare workforce. Enroll in Stanford University's Physical Therapist Assistant Program and train to be on the front line.
I feel old. I've been out there since I was 13. I ain't never fucked up a count, never stole off a package, never did some shit that I wasn't told to do. I've been straight up. But what comes back? You think if I get jammed up on some shit, they'd be like, all right, yeah, Bodie been there. Bodie hang tough. We got his pay lawyer. We got a bail. They want me to stand with him, right? Where the fuck are they at when they supposed to be standing by us? I mean, when shit goes bad and there's hell to pay, where they at? This game is rigged, man. Be like them little bitches on the chessboard. Pawns. Yo, I'm not snitching on none of my boys. Not my corner, not no Barksdale people. Or what's left of them.
Shalom.
But Marlo, this nigga...
Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And all the Hakim out there that be pushing this truth with nothing but sincerity in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Waking up the hopeful elect, starting off from the tribe of Judah all the way down to Issachar. So as you can see right there, reason why I played that too was because Esau's system, it's rigged for us, for us Israelites. You know what I mean? He said, man, the game is rigged. So let's look for the definition, right? Because Jake don't got no part in this system. You know what I mean? So look what it says. Calling something rigged is often used in everyday speech or writing by people who think an outcome has been fixed ahead of time, so they lose. And look what happened with that the Grandfather Clause, right? That shit was set up for Jake, the slaves from back then, to lose because they said if your grandpa voted before 1867, you're able to vote. But come on, the Jakes though back then, they were slaves. How the fuck is their grandfather was going to be able to vote though when they were slaves? You know what I mean? And then let's say if they were able to come through with something, or they couldn't though. I mean, they would have to pay the pool, which was a lot of money, and then they would have to take a literacy test, which was hard. You know what I mean? So Esau's system is rigged. You know what I mean? I think that's what I'm gonna call this video. Esau's system is rigged though, for us to Israelites to lose. You know, because it says people who think an outcome has been fixed ahead of time, so they lose. So yeah, man, because in Esau society, we never win, man. You know what I mean? Because Esau's trying to get the man out of the household. The mom, the woman has to raise a child by, just her, or get it, get with someone and shit. Things of the matter though. So Esau wants Jake to be on food stamps. They want to, Esau wants Jake to, get government assistance though. You know what I mean? That's just the way Esau is though, because Esau wants to have control of everything. You know what I mean? Esau wants to have control of everything. So therefore, the game is rigged though, because we don't get out of it though. That's why we don't got money, right? That's why there's Section A. That's why there's hoods. That's why Section A is in the hoods. That's why we're in the barrios. So that's all what Jake could afford though. You know what I mean? So therefore, you can't go anywhere else though. So we're brought up in bad environments though. You know what I mean? It's not that we choose to be in those environments, but it's only what our parents could afford though. You know what I mean? So, and then our people are off though. So therefore, there's drugs, there's violence, there's all kinds of shit though. So, and then eventually a kid, winds up being a victim of the environment, so to speak though, a victim of the part of the environment. So they start gangbanging and shit. You know what I mean? But it's all rigged though. That's Esau's system. It's all rigged though, because you heard that Jake though. That's from the show The Wire. It's actually one of my favorite shows. It's called The Wire. It talks about the drug trade in Baltimore. And like in the mid 2000s, and that guy, I actually like that character. His name's Bodie, and so he, that Jake, in that show, right, the clip that I ran, he was just tired, being hustling, drug dealing, and he said, I feel like I'm getting old. And he was actually, I think in that show, he was 18, I think it was 18 or 19, but he said he felt old, and he was getting tired of the game. You know what I mean? He was getting tired of the game. He said he feels like one of those small bitches in chess though, which he's talking about the pawns though. And guess what? Jake is a pawn though, because pawns, what are they used for in chess though? They're used to protect the queen, and the king. So therefore, if one's gonna get taken out though, it's gonna be the pawn, because you want to take care of the king and the queen though. I've never played chess though, but I kind of have a little idea, And that's the thing, you got to protect the queen and king, so you use the little pawns to sacrifice though. You know what I mean? So that's what he said though. He felt like one of those little bitches, which was the pawns though, on the chessboard. And he was, he was being a pawn in the system, Esau system though. Hey man, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just set up like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's really, really, really just set up like that. And Jake don't even know it though, because that's the thing though. In order for you gotta wake up in the truth though, to know that who you really are though, that you're an Israelite though. And then from there, once you know you're an Israelite, you gotta know who your enemy is. You know what I mean? Because if not, you're gonna continue to look at, man, the grandfather clause though. They had it set up where if you didn't fucking have if your grandfather didn't vote before 1867, you couldn't vote, or you had to pay a toll and take a literacy test. Come on though, that's what I'm saying though. Like, they don't have hope for us Israelites in this country, which is America, aka baby Babylon, daughter of Babylon. You know what I mean? So we don't got no saying, we don't got no doing for this country though. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is. That's why I did a video yesterday about how these Jakes, from the Lane massacre, they went to the 500 soldiers, right? And the soldiers ended up killing them Jakes though that joined the army. You know what I mean? So it's the system right here is bullshit though. You know what I mean? It's bullshit because of course there's a classic, Micah 2:10. Arise ye and depart For this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with the sword destruction. That's right, because you know, you Jake though, they don't respect you in the fucking army though. You know what I mean? This place, it's not our rest though, because we're still catching hell. Jakes are still getting shot in their back though. We're still living in the barrios and the hoods though. Still living on section A and the food stamps. Brothers are killing each other and shit though. You know what I mean? Like a couple days ago, that rapper Slim 400 got killed though. You know what I mean? He was a rapper from Compton though, but you could tell that guy that shot him, which I seen the video. You could tell that guy that shot him knew that guy Slim 400 though. You know what I mean? He just kept shooting him. You know what I mean? The Jakes are still killing each other. So this is not our rest right here, man. This is the valley of the shadow of the valley of the death though. You know what I mean? Which talks about it in Psalms though. And we all here living though, man, right here. This ain't our rest though, man, because we still gotta think about bills. We still gotta think about how we're gonna get food though. You know what I mean? Gotta worry about these Jakes and shit though. That's why the brother had a point this last time in camp though, saying he don't even like big cities because there's too much Jake there. And I was like, yeah, it's true. You know what I mean? Too many Jakes and shit. They irritate me though. You know what I mean? They be on some nigga shit though. And I don't like that shit though, man. That's just, to me, it's just annoying though. So that's the thing about it though, man. So it's obvious that America's not our place of rest though. You know what I mean? Like, it's obvious that right here it's not our rest. So let me get Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken, which its philosophy, the nations have drunk enough for wine, therefore the nations are mad. Yeah, because it says having a golden cup in the Lord's hand. Because I remember, I was born that year. It was 1990, right? And Russia, there was a McDonald's, the first McDonald's ever. It was open in Russia though, and there was a line. There was a hell of a long ass line right there in Russia to eat right there in the McDonald's. See what I'm saying though? There's a bunch of McDonald's. The Japanese people be dressing up in ties though, like in suits and shit. You know, not no more like how they used to before. You know, you come here to America, man. You get, you start living here. You get Americanized though. You really do. You know, you get drunk off that wine though. You want to start playing basketball and shit though. You want to start, a lot of Ishikarites come over here too, and then eventually you start gangbanging and shit though. Cause over there in Mexico, I mean, there is violence and cartels out there too. Don't get me wrong though, but the Ishikarites come over here, man. Eventually you start gangbanging and shit though. You know what I mean? But that's all the wine of Babylon. You know what I mean? That's all the wine of Babylon, because they orchestrate that shit though, you know what I mean? And then you over here growing up on Section A, and people that you went to school with and shit, eventually start gangbanging and shit though, start choosing sides though, you know what I mean? They start choosing sides and shit though. But before us though, there was another generation. Before that generation, there was another, you know what I'm saying though? So it just all gets passed down to, so that's the thing about it though, man. That wine and shit is so strong. Babylon's wine is so strong. It influenced, man, you be seeing Cokes and Pepsis and poverty ass countries and shit though. You know what I mean? That's all America. Pepsi and Coke. People that partake in Babylon get destroyed though. You know what I mean? Eventually get destroyed because they wanna live this American dream, which dreams are for fools. And it tells you that in the Ecclesiasticus Sirach 34. Let me just get it real quick. I think it's 2. No, actually it's 7 though, Salakia. For dreams have deceived many, and they have failed that put their trust in them. You see what I'm saying though? You over here, yeah, they tell you here in this country, you could be anything you want. You'll be anything you want. But, but if you being an Israelite, you can't just become anything you want. You just can't become anything you want because you don't got the money. You're an Israelite. You know what I mean? And then, let me show this thing real quick. And then actually a brother from Tampa Bay made a video about it though. You know what I mean? But I just remember that shit though. I just remember show you real quick. Which the grandfather clause equals white privilege. You know what I mean? It says, turns out Harvard students aren't that smart after all. A whooping of 43% of white students were admitted on merit. One might call it affirmative action for the rich and privileged. Yeah, see? Ever wonder what it takes to get into Harvard? Stellar grades, impressive extracurriculars based on a recent published study, having deep pockets, and a parent who either works or went there. Those two are pretty important for Harvard's white students because only about 57% of them were admitted to the school based on merit. See? In reality, 53% of Harvard white students are either recruited athletes, legacy students, or on the dean's interest list, meaning parents have donated to the school. See, half these crackers ain't even that fucking smart though. They just got that what? White privilege. What? You know what I mean? That's the thing though. Esau switches words and shit. You know what I mean? He does though. These motherfuckers, you know, then you got Jake though. You got Jake though working his ass off trying to get a scholarship and shit to go to one of these crappy ass fucking schools. You know what I mean? You got Jake trying to fucking go into one of these schools and shit though, working his ass off, being poor and shit. That's why when Jake goes to school and makes it out, he has humble beginnings and shit though. But Esau, these fucking kids and shit, they got it made though because their parents donate to the fucking schools, so therefore they're on the dean's list and shit though. You know what I mean? And they're not even fucking smart. Hey, you know what? My son's over here got a F though. They pay you like 20,000 and shit, make it into a A for him. And the teachers probably take bribes though, which probably they do. The teachers fucking take bribes though, for sure though. You know what I mean? They had to take bribes though. Telling me, hey, switch this guy's grade to an A and shit, I'll give you 20,000. You telling me you're not gonna take that shit? Come on though, man. So that's the thing, man. These fucking crackers ain't even that fucking smart though. You know what I mean? That's crazy, yo, because it goes to show we're still in slavery, and Esau don't give a fuck about Jake, and he never did. They never did. You know what I mean? We don't have the outcomes like Esau though. We don't got no outcomes at all like Esau though, but Esau does though. It reminds me of the grandfather clause though, because they had all these advantages over Jake. You see? They just call it different nowadays. You know what I mean? Which is crazy though. This system was set up for us Israelites to fail though. But you know, the wada Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that I'm waking up to this truth, that I'm awakened to this truth though, and realize Esau's menacing fucking parts of protections that he's doing to this fucking us Israelites. You know what I mean? Because like I said, you gotta know who you are, then you gotta know who your enemy is though. And that's why we're out there in the highways and byways trying to wake up the hopeful elect though. You know what I mean? Because, hey, man, time is going where it's like, you see the signs, man. Time, it's going to go down, man. Jacob's trouble and shit, though. I see it coming, though. Like, literally, I see that shit coming, though. So we want to be spiritually strong, though, in order for it not to be taken care of. We want to trim our lamps, though. You know what I mean? We want to trim our lamps, though, because the day of Yahweh Shai coming with them clouds, them chariots, though, we want to get that salvation, though. You know, we want to get the fuck out of here. You know? That's just the truth, though. Because we want to be spiritually ready, though. And, what is it? I think it's 1 Thessalonians. I put on the helmet. Sometimes I get confused with some precepts in Thessalonians and sometimes in the book of Timothy, though. Oh, see, it was Thessalonians. It was Thessalonians. I was just there. And I seen this one too. 1 Thessalonians 5:8. But let us who are of the day be sober, put on the breastplate of faith and love, and for a helmet, the hope of salvation. And that's what we want to put on, you know what I mean? We want to put on this, we want to be sober because at the time of Yahweh Shai coming, though, you know what I mean? Because if we're not, hey, you know what I mean? We got to be ready, though. That's what I mean by trim the lamps, though, as in prepare ourselves, though. Because it reminds me of Matthew's 25. I think it's 8. Oh no, it's this is the book of Matthew 25:5. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept, which the bridegroom is talking about Yahweh Shai. And they said, at midnight, there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom, which is Yahweh Shai, cometh, go ye out to meet him. So we got to trim our lamp to be ready, though. You know what I mean? They put up the helmet of salvation so we could get taken up into them chariots, though. You know what I mean? Because it says, at midnight, there was a cry made, behold, and that goes back to First Thessalonians, I think second chapter. Yeah, because look at, for yourself knowing perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. So you're asleep though, not knowing that what's gonna happen though. You're gonna be caught up in that destruction. So it says 3, for when they all say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon as a travel upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. See, so it's gonna be travail. It's like labor pains. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a pain like that. You know what I mean? A pain like that. They shall not escape though. So that's why it talks about the bridegroom coming while everyone's asleep though. So that's why trimming the lamp though, we want to make sure that we're prepared for that day that cometh. You know what I mean? And we don't know when it's gonna come though. It tells you here in the second verse, for yourself know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief at night. We don't know when a thief breaks into a house, you don't expect that. You know what I mean? It's unexpected. The thief's trying to go into your house unexpectedly. You know what I mean? So that's just giving an example. You know what I mean? How Shai's gonna, you're not gonna know when he's gonna come. None of us don't. He don't even know when he's gonna come. You know what I mean? So let me get this last precept. So this is Ephesians 5:6. Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of Yahweh upon the children of disobedience. So we should not believe on what Esau tells you though, man, because Esau makes our people go off though, telling us to join the military, telling us to take the Vicky venom, because all that shit's gonna get you destroyed. You know what I mean? All that shit though. You start trying to look for, start having dreams, trying to look for that perfect job, trying to get a house, you work your A off though, then you start neglecting the truth. You know what I mean? All that shit is going off though, according to Yahweh Shem Al Shai. You know what I mean? But that's what this Babylon does though, man. You get drunk off the wine, eventually you start getting too drunk though, that you start losing the truth though. You know what I mean? You don't pay attention to the Bible. So with that, hopefully this video was edifying. And to the next one I say, Shalom.